Hey, this is Derek Jordan. Welcome to the World Fusion Show, where we bring you the leading innovators in world fusion music. Today, I am joined by Maiz Vargas, who is a singer-songwriter, a bass player, and percussionist, and he's living in Burlington. Welcome, Maiz Vargas, to the World Fusion Show.
Thank you, Derek. I really appreciate this opportunity to talk about my music in life.
It's great to have you. Now, you grew up in Costa Rica, but you're living in Burlington now, Burlington, Vermont. But you did a lot of stuff early on in Costa Rica with your family, who's very musical. And so tell us a little bit about how you got into music there and what you did.
Well, thank you. I was born in a family that have carried the music for generations. My last name Vargas, and I started playing marimba, xylophone since I was a kid. I played with a couple like neighborhood bands. I did a lot of folkloric dancing, and that got me into folkloric music and Caribbean music from Costa Rica. So through high school, college, I represented my town in many different like fairs, when we'll go and expose the folklore of our town. And just like that was how I got the taste to travel around and playing music all the way up here. I mean, that might be a very long story to tell you all, but a few words after college, I decided to come up with my style of music, like bending the folklore that I grew up with. And I traveled over 13 countries and I made it all the way up here.
Yeah.
Been here for 8 years now.
And we're glad you did. Now, you told me that you had family in Costa Rica on both coasts. And so you worked really all over the country when you were younger.
That's correct. So I live in the Pacific side later on, but I have my heritage is from the Caribbean. So that's where I come. A lot of the rhythms that I do, I've been listening since I was a kid, my family. That's from my mother's side. There was a lot of rhythm like soca, reggae, calypso, and punta. All this rhythm that you can still feel them in my music now, Yeah. But definitely both coasts, influence in living in the both coast.
And you also were very much into cumbia as well.
That's right. Cumbia is like the rhythm for the people. It's like cumbia is a rhythm that was born in Colombia, but it have globalized to the point where if you take a bus ride, the driver is listening to cumbia. You go to a party, people in the neighborhood, it's just like, is what keep us alive. Something that we all understand, very simple lyrics and a beat that is so hard to stay quiet or sit,
Yeah. So we're going to go to our first video. And this one, tell us a little bit about this video.
The first song that we're looking is Palo de Porto.
Yes.
So Palo de Porto is my latest composition, and it's a poem about a tree where I grew up. Porto is a tree that gives shadow in the coffee fields, and a lot of the folk that grow in my town believe that if you gather all these seeds and you make a necklace, it give you protection against all things that are against you. But there's the song about like the people who make this necklace to sell, and it's just bring that folklore into like a rhythm that is a little modern. I will say I'm mixing cumbia with like surf rock and trying to dig a little of the psychedelic sounds that I'm exploring these days.
Very cool. Very cool. Let's go to the video right now.
Okay.
Hey, we are back with Maiz Vargas, and very cool video. Now, Maiz, I wanted to ask you about Burlington, because you came a long way to get to Burlington from where you were born. And how long have you been living in Burlington?
Well, it's been about 8 years ago, and the first time I heard about Burlington was through Lee Anderson, the owner of Radio Bean. I met him in Costa Rica while he was traveling, and he told me, if you ever made it to States, come here. There's a great music scene. So I did, and I remember going to one of his concerts and at Radio Bean, and I start meeting people asking for musicians that want to collaborate with me, and right away I found so many folks. I mean, I have played with at least 20 people in this town, and some of them are been with me since the beginning, like Colin Henkel. Like, he plays the drums. He went to Cuba. He played with so many ethnic projects here in town, so he understood the rhythm right away. And right now, Graham Lambert, the guitar player, that he's actually a co-producer for Mal Maiz, he helped me composing and writing a lot of the music, the new tunes. He's been with me for about 8 years now.
That's great.
And the other person that you saw there in the keyboard, his name is Mike Hardigan, and he's a great jazz player. You can see him playing with Ray Vega, always with them, and he collaborate with us and bring all these flavor to it. So we have like a really cool thing going on where I bring the folklore, the other one bring the jazz, we bring the rock. We're trying to make like a mix of things.
Real fusion, for sure. Now, just to be clear for our audience, your band is called Mal Maiz. So it's like your name, but not quite included. Yeah. Okay, I wanted to go to our next video. Can you tell us a little bit about this?
But this next song actually is like a lyric, the public domain that I heard since I was a kid by Ale Kuma. It's called Si se quema el monte, déjalo quemar, and translated to English means if the grass burnt, let it be, or let it burn. And it's a rhythm from Colombia that we call Mapale, really fast. For those musicians, it's in 6/8. So you really feel that conga beat in your heart when it's going. So I hope that you enjoyed it. Actually, this video was made by Ryan Mael and Waking Windows many years ago. So I hope you enjoyed it.
All right. Well, yes, I did, and I will. And I think our audience will too. Let's go to the video right now.
Se quema el monte de lo quemar, de la misma cepa bailar entoñar. Si se quema el monte de lo quemar, de la misma cepa bailar entoñar. La. Si se quema el monte de lo quemar, si se quema el monte de lo quemar, de la misma cepa bailar entoñar. Ay, morena de mi vida, dueña de mi corazón, cuando yo te traigo flores, dueña de mi corazón. Si se quema el monte
we are back with Maiz Vargas and his very cool fusion of Latino music from all over the place. Now, Maiz, I wanted to ask you, who were the most important people to inspire you in your music?
Oh, well, it's a long list, but I can't put out from my head. I really like, one of my first favorite persons was Oscar de Leon. He was like a singer, bass player. So that, since I was a kid, captivating me. That's what I try to do. I play the bass and sing.
Right.
And then after that, I can talk about Fania All Stars and contemporaneous music like Combo, Chimbita, Mako Sound System. I think what I appreciate the most are musicians that migrate and try to start a life in other country with their music. And I feel identified by that because I'm kind of doing it. I like miles and miles away from my home, trying to thrive, trying to share my culture and heritage. And so that's what inspired me in other musicians. I hear everything, but that's what captivates me the most.
Sure.
This band called Irakere.
Yeah,
It was a group of Cubans that flew to States. Yeah. And I hope you can find this band. They are very inspirational to me.
Oh, I've heard them. They're great. Yes. So now tell us about this next video we're going to see.
So this next video that you're going to see is a live video in Church Street, I believe, as part of the Jazz Fest as we play every year. And this song, Huru Huru, is a composition that I did it's like a funeral poem. And in the Caribbean culture, funeral tunes tend to be really happy. So I choose a Punta, a rhythm from the Honduras Caribbean coast, from the Garifuna people, and put it on the Mal Maiz context. So we created a really funky bass line, and we had some jazz to it and some rock, and I'm just singing some folkloric lines. And I hope that you enjoyed it. It's like a really powerful medicine song that I enjoy to play very much.
That's great. Thank you. And so let's go to the video right now.
This next song that we're gonna play, it's one of my favorite ones.
right, we are back with Maiz Vargas. And I wanted to ask you about your lyrics because very much you were telling me they represent cultural elements and you're really inspired by that in your lyric writing.
That's correct, Derek. A lot of the poems that I write are based on stories that I hear from my grandmother and my great grandmother. You know, they were native people, and so they through oral culture they tell me all these stories like it's, you know, like I said, it's the cosmovision. So it's like divine creatures from the forest coming into towns, and I try to like make this. It's not like create this world with my songs about these creatures that they're just being told on generations, you know. So part of my music, I feel like my mission is to like keep that oral culture alive and bring it into music. And as a poet, I feel that's my mission. But like I said, I like to talk about cosmovision, but in other songs you can hear about like healing elixirs, name of native plants where I come from, name of trees. So I'm trying to really introduce to the world that I grew up in, you know, and it's a very small country, a very small village, but with like so much nature and things to like dream about. So that's what I like to do. You know, I remember my grandmother always told me that music is medicine. So I feel that's what I think when I want to write a poem. How can I impact people positively with my music, not just with the rhythms, but also with the words and the vibrations that I choose to sing. You know?
That's great. That's fantastic. So let's go to our last video right now.
All right, cool.
Ready. Esa es la ofrenda. Todos los chamanes le ofrecen candela, agüita de coco y camote. Esa es la ofrenda. Se prende, vive debajo del río y cuando llueve se prende. Todos los chamanes le ofrecen candela, agüita de coco y camote, esa es la ofrenda. Todos los chamanes le ofrecen candela, agüita de coco y camote, esa es la ofrenda. Piso de agua, piso de agua, piso de agua, piso de agua.
I just wanted to thank you, Maiz Vargas, for coming on the World Fusion Show today and sharing your wonderful music with our audience.
Hey, Derek, thank you so much for this opportunity. I want to say also thank you to all the people behind me that have made me get all the way here, my family, friends, bandmates. I hope that everybody that hear this music today through this channel find us online on Instagram, YouTube. Just dial Mal Maiz, Malmaiz, and you can hear more about my work. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Take care now. Bye-bye. Hey, it's Derek Jordan, and thank you so much for joining us today on the World Fusion Show. It's been great to have you, and we have lots more great shows coming, so please stay tuned. I wanted to say a quick thank you to our sponsors, Mackenzie Family Charitable Trust, Ron Dans, Nancy Feinberg, and Chris Pratt for your generous support. And please help us spread this show to all of your friends and, post it on social media and all that good stuff. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. And as we always like to say, think globally, listen locally, and support independent music.